Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, the 31st of July, 2026, and today, Douglas County Link expands into Castle Rock, Colorado, marking the first time that public transit access has been brought to Castle Rock in over 15 years. I am about to get on a T-Line train to Lincoln Station to get aboard the new service, so let's go. Oh, the train's way further than I thought it was. It's there. So while we're on our train to Lincoln Station, let's find out exactly what Douglas County Link on Demand actually is. Lone Tree Link launched service on September 23, 2014, operating a short shuttle route on weekdays every 10 minutes from the Lincoln Light Rail Station. In August 2017, the city of Lone Tree entered into an agreement with Uber to launch their first Link on Demand shuttle service, a microtransit service operating a small area within the city of Lone Tree to provide additional connections to RTD services and their Lone Tree Link shuttle. However, this pilot program would only last until December 2018. Then, in February of 2019, in anticipation of the Southeast Rail extension, the city of Lone Tree relaunched their Link on Demand system, now powered by VIA, to provide enhanced connections to the Southeast Rail extension. In May 2025, Douglas County got involved, extending the Lone Tree Link service area into Highlands Ranch. Then, just a few months ago, in April of 2026, the city of Parker joined the Link service area in partnership with Lone Tree and Douglas County to add Link on Demand service to Parker and Stonegate, Colorado. Finally, in July of 2026, the Douglas County Board of County Commissioners approved an agreement valued at $1.9 million in partnership with the town of Castle Rock and the Colorado Department of Transportation for a one-year pilot program to extend Link on Demand into Castle Rock. Link on Demand allows you to book any journey within a zone, and it also allows you to book journeys between any two adjacent zones, which means for longer journeys, you're going to have to connect, which brings us back to the present. Hey everyone, now we are at the Lincoln Light Rail Station in Lone Tree, Colorado. Douglas County officially recommends that if you need to break up your journey because you're traveling over more than two zones, you do so at a designated transfer point, like the Safeway behind Heritage Hills Circle, or here at the Lincoln Light Rail Station. Last year, when the Highlands Ranch extension opened, I did take Link over there, but today we're going to be taking the brand new service down to Castle Rock, Colorado. Booking your ride on Link on Demand is simple. Install the mobile application, follow the instructions on your device's screen, and book your ride. Reservations are accepted for at least 3 hours in advance, or you can just book for right away. I just got the notification my ride is almost here, so while I travel down to Castle Rock, let's cut back to Editor Jackson in the studio to talk about why this long-awaited transit expansion is so important. Castle Rock, Colorado sits just 30 miles from downtown Denver and has long been connected to the Denver metropolitan area. Since its founding in 1874 and its connection to the Denver and Rio Grande Western Railroad in 1875, passengers have been traveling on trains to and from Castle Rock on the Royal Gorge route until its discontinuation in 1967. In 1969, an act of the Colorado State Legislature created the Regional Transportation District, which originally included all of Douglas County within its service area. Throughout the next few decades, RTD would expand service into the suburban regions of Denver, finally reaching Castle Rock in 1994 with a $78,000 agreement with the town for a 5-month pilot service. Route CD operated from Castle Rock to downtown Denver. However, when the pilot program ended in November 1994, Castle Rock, Colorado chose not to renew it, and its citizens voted out of the Regional Transportation District service area, prohibiting the RTD from operating service into Castle Rock. However, at this point, the town was not without transit service. Also in 1994, the town created the Clean Air Transit Company to provide local service around Castle Rock. Castle Rock would be reconnected with transit service to Denver and now Colorado Springs in October 2004, when the Pikes Peak Area Council of Governments was awarded a congestion mitigation and air quality improvement grant from the Federal Highway Administration to operate express bus service from Colorado Springs to Denver, making intermediate stops in communities along I-25. However, financial troubles and low ridership caused the stop in Castle Rock to be discontinued in January 2010. And at the end of that year, after similarly decreasing ridership levels, the Clean Air Transit Company in Castle Rock also discontinued their shuttle service, leaving Castle Rock with no public transit service. Until today. Now I am at the outlets at Castle Rock Shopping Center just north of downtown. And in front of the Sephora where their curbside pickup is today is the location where CATCO buses used to collect passengers and take them into downtown Castle Rock. And just on the other side of the grass that is much more lush than it was in the satellite footage of 2010 is the location where FREX buses used to collect passengers to take them to Denver and Colorado Springs. You know, there's a part of me that's surprised how little this shopping center has changed in 15 years. And I'm also not surprised in the same way, but also some parts have changed. Like the place where FREX buses used to park is now part of regular parking. It doesn't look like it's here anymore, but in the location where the asphalt is way more patchy than the entire rest of the parking lot, just across from the Puma, is where FREX buses used to stop. A lot of people have some concerns about the merits of demand response transit DRT, otherwise known as microtransit services, but they're increasingly common in our society. So let's cut back again to Editor Jackson in the studio while I take a quick ride into downtown Castle Rock. Well, microtransit has just become a part of 21st century public transit all across the country, and especially in Denver. Recently, the RTD Partnership Program has expanded microtransit all across the region to provide stronger first-last mile service in areas like Longmont, Denver, Brighton, Aurora, Erie, and numerous other locations all across the region. New microtransit services are being offered. Although it is often accused as being a lazy way to implement new transit service, it's actually a much stronger way to encourage riders to explore what transit options there may be. And microtransit's data can be used for good. The city of Longmont is using trip data collected from their microtransit program to influence where the city might petition for new fixed route buses to be operated. Microtransit uniquely gives cities, towns, and communities awareness as to where they're lacking access to existing transit services in ways that current fixed-route buses are unable to show them. You're probably wondering why I'm coming to you from this empty field behind a PNC bank. Well, we are at the intersection of Rio Grande Drive and Wilcox Street, the first stop on RTD Route CD, which 32 years ago departed on its first trip from Castle Rock to Denver. And no matter how much I just love shuttling around Castle Rock, let's book our ride home on the phone to show how microtransit is still accessible to those who don't have a smartphone.
You'd like to book a ride with Link on Demand. Where should we pick you up?
The Castle Rock Library at 100 South Wilcox.
Got it. Where should we drop you off?
Lincoln Light Rail Station.
Thanks. We'll drop you off at Lincoln Station Lone Tree Company. Great. I was able to book your ride. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Okay, so I would say that the AI voice assistant isn't too helpful. Like, definitely cuts you off if you talk too slow. Hi, I'd like to book a ride from...
Hello. How can I help you today?
And that is all for today, guys. I'm going to get my train back home because today was a long morning of back and forths on Link on Demand in Castle Rock. It is currently a 1-year pilot program. Hopefully, it's going to get extended because it's a really awesome community service. But while you're in the Southeast, check out any of the other Link on Demand zones and other transit services in the area. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.